Hey guys, welcome back to the Captain Nick YouTube channel. This week it is Freeware Friday. That's right, it's that time of the month. Once again, it's not time for Ant Flow. Hopefully that comes later in the month, or maybe not at all. Or if it does, maybe it's nice and easy on everybody. But anyways, this week we are taking a look at the CRJ-200. Kind of a cool plane. You know, I don't believe we have any payware ones for P3D or FSX. For that matter. I mean, obviously we got the Aerosoft CRJ, but as I understand it, leaves a lot to be desired. But anyways, we have the CRJ-200. This is a model that you can download from Riku, and I will throw a link down below for that. This model is actually a POSCI, a Project Open Sky model from back in the day. It does have a virtual cockpit that has been swapped over from the default fsx-se CRJ-700, and that was, I believe, done by David Hoefgen. I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's in the README of the deal. It does have an FMC and some cool little things as well, and let's get on into it. You know, if we check out the outside here, textures are not terrible. The modeling, you know, it's a POSCI model, right? So we're talking, what, FS 2004 era, FS9, whatever you want to call it. And the POSCI stuff was pretty good back in the day. It's kind of showing its age now, of course. I mean, we're talking, I don't know, fuck, how old are these things? 15 years old? Something like that. But, yeah, like I said, I mean, I like America West. The package comes with a metric ass ton of textures, different liveries from different operators. I chose America West one. America West is kind of a cool looking deal, little cactus looking guys. One thing I do like is everything's kind of nicely animated, you know, as far as the flaps and the spoilers. You got the thrust reversers. All that stuff is kind of neat to still have and running on these things. You know, on a scale of 1 to 10, looking at the outside and the modeling and the texture work, it's going to sound like I'm beating it up, but I'm not. This is honestly maybe a 3 or a 4. It's functional, but it's maybe a step above AI at this point, so that's what you get. Yeah, and then we move into the interior here on the virtual cockpit and all the avionics. The nice thing, like I said, is it is using the default CRJ-700 from FSX. Virtual cockpit. It's got some other gauges kind of lays into place for the panels. It does have an FMC, and it does have an autopilot. The FMC is kind of rudimentary. It acts like it's got VNAV. I don't believe the actual plane in real life has VNAV. The CRJ-200, I don't believe it does. If you use the autopilot, you'll click it and you'll hit speed. It'll hold the speed, but it won't climb at that speed, even if you set the VNAV waypoints in the FMC. Everything's completely functional, though. You know, if you just put it in VS mode, obviously that's not ideal, but it is what it is. But it definitely works. It'll get you from point A to point B quite easily. Frame rate's phenomenal. I mean, obviously, it's kind of default. Not the best thing in the world, though. You know, a couple of weird spots. You can't click to drop the column. I hate planes that having that column in the way. In real life, you know, it might be a different story, but kind of hard, even with track IR, sometimes to see past things. So I like things that click to drop down when I need it. You know, on a scale of 1 to 10, just like I always do, it's probably going to be, once again, a 3 or 4. Not pure shit, but definitely not the best, even as far as freeware goes. It's nice to have, though. But anyhow, it's a perfect plane if you want to use it in FS economy. You know, it's cheap, it's free, it's not terrible, it actually works. Nothing fancy, nothing even remotely close to it, but here's a little flying video, and I'll be back at the end.
Oh baby, I wanted you to be inside my arms where the night goes down.
Anyhow, guys, that's pretty much all I have on this one. It's solid for being free, nothing fancy. I think the previous last month's, what was it, the Goose or Mallard, whatever it was I did, probably a better plane as far as freeware goes. But this is pretty cool, man. You know, next week we have the return of the Bonanza USA Tour, so look out for that. If you like it, you know, hit like, hit subscribe, follow me down below. I appreciate it, guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye.